So next week we have Team Affinity Season 5 coming out. This is likely going to be finest cards that come out for this current season, so we have a lot of really good cards inbound. So I was originally going to do another one of those tier list videos on the channel and go through a little catch up and make sure we're all good to go, because since there are going to be so many cards added, I think it would be valuable to get it out there, which cards I think are the best and which ones I think you should be passing on. But I ended up deciding that what would probably be smarter is for me to actually go into more detail on the current cards and the current meta of the game and cards that I think you should be trying first whenever you get the opportunity, and doing it in a top 10, top whatever list fashion, doing a video a day going position by position, giving my top players that position. We have the new inning program coming this week, so this is before the 9th inning program dropped. The rumor has it is that 99 Johnny Bench will likely be one of those bosses according to the quirks they tweeted out as a hint. So this list is likely to change even this week, but we're gonna get this out there. The top 10 catchers, MLB The Show right now. Let's get into it. Alright, so before we get into the top 10 list, first of all, I want to always put this out there. These are my opinions. I've been someone who's been playing MLB The Show a lot over these last few years, and judging based off of attributes, swings that many people struggle with because of their animation. There's a lot of factors that go into choosing who I think is the best and who I think is worth passing on. So keep in mind, these are my opinions. You don't have to always listen to them. This is just a good direction to help you guys look for good players to try on your team in case you are struggling with players looking to make some upgrades on your teams. And if you happen to disagree or want to discuss these opinions even more, let me know in the comments section what you think. We have a good amount of players to talk about. Catcher is a very interesting position this year because there really isn't any amazing catchers yet in the game, and we're in November. So let's get into the list. First, we're starting with some honorable mentions. These cards just missed the list. I think these cards could find some value on your team in some way, shape, or form, whether you use them on your starting lineup or your bench. So I thought they were worth mentioning in case you were looking for some different catchers out there that you may not have tried yet. First, we have the 97 Gary Sanchez from Topps Now, and this could be a great starting catcher for when you're just playing the game, especially on the lower difficulties. The 80-90 contact, it's not going to hurt you very much. The power is really good though. He's got 77 fielding, which for Gary Sanchez is very solid, and low-key he has his catching quirk, so he's going to be able to throw out runners pretty damn well. Next, we have 96 Mike Zanino with 125 pop versus both sides. If you're playing on like veteran difficulty or maybe all-star, that 45 contact versus right really won't hurt you that much, but really his best purpose is like a secondary bench catcher who has great attributes versus lefties and even can hit righties if you're on those lower difficulties. And again, he has the catcher pop time, so he's going to throw out runners a little better than some of the other catchers, even though he has a little bit lower arm strength as a catcher. And finally, 95 Orhi Pasada. I know I'm a Yankee fan, but I think he's worth noting because a lot of people like Pasada's swing. Again, if you're in the lower difficulties, that contact won't really hurt you. The power is nice, switch hitter, gold fielding. Definitely a viable catcher if you're looking for a hitter first catcher. But now let's get into the top 10 and see who number 10 is. So I think this is the perfect spot for 97 K Bert Ruiz. Another switch hitter type catcher, but he has a little bit more contact and be a little bit more playable at this point in the game against these top level pitchers. The fielding is actually a little better as well. The bat is there, and if you're going to use a switch hitter with not terrible speed, I think K Bert might be one of your better options to do that. Next, we have 98 Will Smith, which I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen used more. 92 contact versus righty is literally the only thing keeping this card from being the best of the best, in my opinion. That isn't even that low, though, you know? 110 and 120 contact and power versus lefties is legit. And even in that righty matchup, 116 power is really damn nice. Gold fielding, very nice catcher option that is definitely a little bit underused. I don't see him used much at all. I think there's a lot of teams that could use a catcher like this. Next, we have 97 Salvador Perez. I kept on putting him in S tier in my tier lists, mostly for him being a platoon bat. He could be probably the best bat versus lefties as a catcher, I would say. Great bench catcher to have on your team. But in terms of a standalone catcher, not as good just because the 93 and 90 contact and power versus righty. I am hoping and praying, though, we get a 99 Salvi, finest card for this season he had. He had an unreal season this year. He could have really good power versus both sides, and the hitting attributes could be even better. And while we don't have any amazing catchers yet, a 99 Salvi would be really good. But this Salvi is a great one as well if you are looking for a nice righty catcher. Next, we have 99 Craig Bigio. Yes, I am including him in the catcher tier list because he is definitely the most valuable as a catcher. No catchers really have that level of speed and stealing, I don't think. And a catcher, you'll still have gold fielding. Definitely an underused catcher as well. He's got a nice swing animation, so a lot of people don't struggle with his swing. And that type of player with the high contact and 80 or so power plays very well, like Jackie Robinson. I like that card a lot. So Bigio is a great type for that. And again, a great bench catcher as well, because you could use him as a pinch runner for that catcher, or you could even just save him for a pinch hitter or defensive sub for your catcher. At number 6, we have JT Realmuto. A lot of people have been begging me to put this guy in the S tier of my tier list, and I may have been underrating him a little bit. I think I just looked at the gold defense and the attributes versus lefties, and it's definitely good. He's very well-rounded, but I personally think there are other catchers that do what JT Realmuto does, but better, you know? Craig Bigio has the better speed. There are a lot of other catchers with better defense. The 98 arm strength is really nice, though, and there are a lot better hitting catchers as well. But he actually might be the best well-rounded catcher who's got good power, contact, fielding, and arm strength, and the speed. And he does get the benefit of having quirks and the catcher pop time quirk, so he's going to throw out runners very well. I haven't used him enough, but he definitely deserves the slot right into the 6th spot. Next, I have 97 Yasamani Grand Dog in the 5 spot. I think the offense and defense is very nice. Other than the arm strength, the defense is there. And most people hit very well with Yasamani Grand Dog. He's a switch hitter, definitely the best switch hitting catcher. Does especially well versus righties and solid enough versus left. Real issue with this card is the 1 speed. And I promise you, it is going to be an issue just because you're going to really only have a lot of singles. Like, you're probably only better off hitting him 8th, or maybe hitting him at some heart of the order spot. Try to only hit home runs with him. Good news is he actually will hit for that type of power. Number 4, we have 99 Pudge Rodriguez, and a lot of people think this is controversial. A lot of people think that I rate him a little too high, and to be honest with you, maybe I do, but just looking at the attributes, the elite level of contact, 110 and 119. The power, 86, 88, is in a nice sweet spot. That's a great spot where he's gonna hit for home run power still, but he doesn't only hit home runs. He's gonna hit a lot of singles for you anyway. But the defense, this is the best defending catcher, at least one of them we have right now. Again, he has the pop time quirk. He has 72 speed as well, so he's very close to JT Realmuto. Definitely a top tier catcher that I don't see enough people give good use. Number 3, we have 99 Ad Lee Ruchman. I think this actually might be the most well-rounded switch hitting catcher. The contact versus righty could be a little better. I know this card got a little bit cut short, but you know, 100 contact and 90 power versus right is definitely good enough. But again, you're getting him for the switch hitter. Catcher that could hit versus both sides, who actually has good defense. This is the guy to use, I would say. A lot of people like his swing. This card actually hits a little bit above his attributes, I feel like. And again, he doesn't have the pop time quirk for some reason, but the arm strength is there, the fielding is there, everything else is there. And if it were me, I would be using him over Grand Dog, despite the slight drop in power. Then number 2, we have 99 Mike Piazza. And yes, I have him at number 2. The main reason I have him at number 2 is because I know a lot of people struggle with his swing animation. It's a lot more than other players at catcher. Yes, they did improve upon his swing, but I still think a lot of people, including me, struggled with that. The hitting attributes, though, are definitely the best at catcher. The defense is good enough. If you're gonna take that sacrifice for defense for all of the hitting he has, and you can hit well with them, definitely like best catcher in the game material. But from my experience, a lot of people don't do well with them, so I just don't feel right putting him at number 1. The number 1 catcher in MLB The Show 21 as of right now, my opinion is still 98 Kyle Schwarber. There aren't many other lefty catchers that we're gonna even get. I think he might be the only one, to be honest with you. He has some switch hitters, but only lefty. Schwarber is it. But the big thing with Schwarber is his swing. A lot of people do well with his swing. He mashes versus righties, which this game is very much a righty meta. But even still, 97 and 100 is definitely very good versus lefties still, especially if you compare him to like Salvador Perez, who struggles versus righties. Schwarber is definitely better versus lefties in most scenarios. You could honestly keep him as like a lefty-lefty bet, especially when he gets that shift on him. He can hit that ball opposite field very well. The defense, yeah, the defense is going to be great, especially without parallels, but a lot of people have been using him for a while, and I just think it's valuable to get that lefty bet, and I personally think a lot of people do the best with his swing. In terms of power and just being the best hitting catcher, I think he's been the guy for most people. And he is still my God Squad catcher still, for those of you that care. But as of now, I'm waiting for my 99 Salvador Perez, hopefully. A 99 Jimmy Fox. Maybe this Johnny Bench that comes out would actually be really appealing. But I personally like Schwarber to get another lefty bat in the lineup. A lot of the best hitters in the game are righties, so getting that lefty in the lineup is a very big deal. So I like using catcher whenever I can as a lefty or switch hitter, just because of the current like meta of the game overall. What do you guys think of this top 10 list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you like if you enjoy this type of video. I want to do this throughout the next week or so. going position by position. But I think it would be very valuable to explain and go in depth about why these cards are good, why I like them, and why you should probably use them over other players, because it's a common question I see around the community and other chats and my chat and all that. So I thought it would be valuable to get this out there. So if you like it, let me know. And we'll be doing these throughout the next couple of weeks leading up to the next Team Affinity. And then obviously we'll be talking about all of those cards when those drop. But you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you again on the next video. Deuces.